Listen up, Southern Arizona. Snoop Dogg is coming to Tucson for the Arizona Bowl on December 28th. We are going to talk today about who this is going to impact, what to expect, and how restaurants can be bowl ready with some gin and juice and many, many other things. So please stick around and check out this episode so we can make sure that 2024 is the best bowl year that Southern Arizona has ever seen. Welcome to the No Hesitations podcast, the show where restaurant leaders learn tools, tactics, and habits from the world's greatest operators. I'm your host, Kristen Marvin, with Solutions by Kristen. I've spent the last 2 decades in the restaurant industry and now partner with restaurant owners to develop their leaders and scale their businesses without wasting time and energy so they can achieve work-life balance and make more money. You can now engage with me on the show and share topics you'd like to hear about, leadership lessons you want to learn, and any feedback that you have. Simply click the link at the top of the show notes, and I'll give you a shout out on a future episode. Thanks so much for listening, and I look forward to connecting. Eric, thank you so much for being here today. We have got a really big, extraordinary event coming to Tucson that you're going to give us some insight on, and we're going to talk specifically about the impact that this is going to have in the community of Tucson, but specifically to restaurants and how to get restaurants bowl ready. So we're super, super excited. So thanks for being here.
My absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me, Kristen. It's, food's a big part of football. So we're all family, right?
I love it. Yes. Football and food have to go together all the time. So December 28th, tell us what's going on. Who's going to be here? What's happening in the community?
Yeah, well, we have this little football game we do, which is not so little. And we have this little guy named Snoop Dogg, who is also not so little. We're bringing a big show to Tucson. We're going into our 10th year of the Arizona Bowl here in Southern Arizona. Super excited for that. But, you cannot overstate what Snoop Dogg is in our country right now.
Yeah.
And we cannot overstate how excited we are to have him as our title sponsor and right here in our community. He'll be here. In fact, a lot of our marketing you'll start to see here in the next week or two is Snoop Dogg will be here. Will you? So having Snoop here is just super excited, and it elevates everything we do. Of course, the biggest headline for us is we're the only bowl game in the nation that gives 100% of our net proceeds to charity. Wow. So in our 10 years, we've worked with over 70 charities here in Southern Arizona to the tune of about $5 million that we've given back here in our community.
That's incredible. I did not know that. Snoop Dogg is just such a presence. He's always been just incredible, but I think, us seeing him show up during the Olympics and bring so much energy and love and passion to every single sport, and watch him just build community. And, now we're watching, my husband and I love The Voice. So we're watching him on The Voice and have just found like a new appreciation and love for him outside of the hip hop world. It's just been awesome. So I can't wait for him to bring that energy to the city. And he's not going to be alone, right? He's going to bring some friends.
Snoop never seems to be alone, right? It's one of my goals in life, Kristen, is to sometime have an entourage. Snoop absolutely has an entourage. So You'll certainly see a few special guests that are going to come with him. Being in such close proximity to Los Angeles, and a lot of these folks have, we like to call them company cars. They just fly. They can make their way to Arizona super quickly and be back in Beverly Hills by dinner the night of our bowl. So we're hopeful that not just Snoop, but Snoop and friends will descend on Tucson, Arizona on December 28th.
I love it. I'm kind of maybe hoping to catch some Dr. Dre or some Martha Stewart around, but we'll see what happens.
Wink, wink, nod, nod. You may be able to see all of the above. That's our hope.
I love it. So you had mentioned when we talked previously that this event has the second largest impact in Tucson. Would you talk about why that is and how far that reaches and what that all involves?
Absolutely. As we've grown in the years, and that is only, I have to lead with this, in thanks to our community and the support we get from our local restaurants, our local vendors, our local hotels. As we've grown and grown and grown, our partners have allowed us to grow and done amazing things for us. And what that's led to is we now sell out 5 to 7 hotels during our bowl week here in Southern Arizona, which that week between Christmas and New Year's is a tough time usually for the hotel industry. So our hotel partners love us. But as you know very well, with our hotels comes some amazing restaurants on those properties. And then, of course, we're bringing the team, we're bringing the fans downtown. We have fan hotels, and we have, a restaurant guide that we encourage people, go see these people. So when you're in our game, you can download an app that you'll be able to see that here's all of our favorite restaurants and folks that are great with us. Of course, we usually lead with Charo because the Flores family has been with us since day one, and they're amazing partners. Many of the Tucson originals, which is where you and I met, are fantastic partners that we encourage people, buy local, eat local. We're a city of gastronomy. And so there's a lot to our city that not just our football game. We certainly want people at our football game, but experience our town because that economic impacts comes from people who are coming a couple of days before, staying a few days after, getting out in our community, spending some holiday dollars, putting on a little holiday weight, which is great for us. So, there's so much great food. We always tell people, you can't throw a chimichanga without stopping somewhere great to eat.
Totally. I love it. And the Charo family, I know they claim to have invented the chimichanga, right? That's
They do.
their
And
story.
I think they're right. I saw a national story a couple of weeks ago that came out, and it was really funny because it said right now the debate is between El Charo and somebody named Monica, which they're all Flores. It's all the Flores family.
That's amazing.
And so Ray kind of posted a funny thing about it. And we're like, yeah, I don't think there's much of a debate because that's all the same people.
That's great. I'd heard some rumors, but I didn't want anybody to fact check me. So
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is the impact just specific to downtown, or does it kind of ripple
Nope.
through the rest of the community?
Yeah, we reach far and wide. We work with the Southern Arizona Attraction Alliance here, and we give our guests, one of the passport books. So we go to the Desert Museum, go to the zoo, go to the Park Place Mall. All these great places you can get discounts at through that Southern Arizona passport. We have resorts as far north as La Paloma. We hit the west side with JW Marriott. We go more central to DoubleTree over on Alvernon. So we like to say we're citywide, and that really works out for us.
I love it. So you had mentioned, getting restaurants bowl ready for this. What does that mean? What does that look like? What do they need to know?
100%. Well, one of our biggest our presenting sponsors is Gin and Juice. By Dre and Snoop, which is just fun to say all the time, and it's a pretty good song. So we want to be bowl ready, meaning that this restaurant is one of our partners. So as you're here in Southern Arizona eating, not just in Tucson, we go to Vail, we go down to Nogales, we have some places in Sonoyta, down in Sierra Vista that are you bowl ready. And if you see that sticker, the McDonald's franchises here in Tucson is a huge supporter of ours. So you'll see that sticker. That means that's someone that's supporting the bowl. That's somebody who's doing all they can to make sure that the bowl is successful in our community. So stop into those restaurants because, we're a national brand, which is trying to showcase local. And that's sometimes a fine line to walk. So as you're here in our community, as you have family coming in for the holidays, look out for that sticker. And that means that someone who's not just serving Tucson from an amazing food standpoint, but doing more in our community to support things that are giving back to our community.
I love it. And what are some ways that you're recommending that restaurants get ready for this?
One, we want you to have gin and juice. We want you to, showcase because the better we do for our national partners, for a while when we made our announcement in May, Tucson was one of the leading consumers of gin and juice in the country.
Wow.
Which was awesome to say because that shows our sponsors we're all in. Yeah. When you sign a contract with a business in Tucson, not just us, any of the great events we have going on here. I mean, from the Jazz Festival to the Book Festival, we want people to know when you sign a contract with Tucson, it's truly Tucson. It's truly Southern Arizona. So being able to say we were one of the leading consumers immediately after that announcement is awesome because that shows on a national level, when you involve yourself in Southern Arizona, you are getting the support of Southern Arizona.
That's so cool.
Beyond that, sorry to answer your question a little roundabout. I'm a marketing guy. I like to talk. Bull ready means that, you're going to have some football games up. You're going to have some things in. We want to have gin and juice. You may have an opportunity to get that restaurant's food at one of our other events, our kickoff luncheon. We have the big Taco Bell New Year's Eve downtown Bowl Bash with a bunch of food trucks that will be there. Tons of food trucks at our tailgate. The Bowl Bash and the tailgate are free. So even if you can't come to the game, you should come to the game. But if you can't, bring the family out, experience, a little taste of Southern Arizona at our tailgate, at the Bowl Bash on New Year's Eve. Again, just different ways to involve our local restaurants and what we have on a national platform.
Unlock the skills to transform your leadership with the Hospitality Leaders Roadmap. Move from ordinary to extraordinary, packed with practical strategies to lead with confidence and create lasting impact in your restaurant. Visit kristenmarvin.com/audio to download your free audiobook today.
Howdy, listener. Are you also a podcaster seeking to stand out in the crowded audio landscape? I'm here to help. L. Connor Voice, LLC offers top-tier audio engineering, meticulous content management, and more, all tailored to save you time and elevate your podcast to new heights of professionalism. With L. Connor Voice, you can focus on what you do best, creating captivating content, while I handle the rest. Say goodbye to hours spent tweaking audio levels and managing uploads. I ensure your podcast shines with polished sound quality and seamless delivery. Ready to take your podcast to the next level? Contact L. Connor Voice, LLC today and make producing your podcast as easy as hitting record. For more information, go to lconnorvoice.com. Links are in the episode notes.
And we don't drop a ball at midnight in the city.
We do not. This is actually probably perfect for your show. We have Tucson's Taco Touchdown. So we drop a taco from a crane at midnight. And it's really cool.
It's enormous.
It is giant.
It's amazing.
We have a well-known local artist who creates that for us, and it's so cool looking. Our executive director, Kim Adair, has a great story from last year. She was in one of our hotel partners, the Leo Kent downtown here in the St. Cruz, speaking of another restaurant that's a great supporter of ours. And she was having dinner, and she heard a couple at the table next to her just chatting about how they were visiting from Tampa, Florida, just for the taco touchdown.
Yes.
They came to Tucson because they saw it on TikTok. We had about 10 million views on TikTok last year, so it went a little TikTok famous. They came from Tampa to Tucson just to watch the taco touchdown. It's a great night. We had Warrant last year. We always have great music, great food, lots to do. If you've never done a silent disco before, it's by far and away one of the most popular things to do there. It's amazing to watch people wear headphones like you and I are wearing right now with absolutely no music happening and watching them just go to town dancing.
It's a riot.
So much fun to watch. Yeah.
We used to have them when I managed Union Station in Denver, and it was hysterical. We would the staff and I from the restaurant would just go out and watch for a few minutes and giggle, and just watching people get so into it is just, you just wonder, we play a game like, what are they listening to? What song is in their ear right now? It's amazing.
Yeah. So we have 3 live DJs. And when I say live, they're actually there, and they have a color behind each of their podiums. So you'll see 3 colors. I think last year it was red, green, and blue. So if you're with the green DJ, I think he was playing like hip hop last year. Blue was playing country, and then red was playing just a mishmash of all the things. And so my favorite thing is watching people try to tap the person next to them and go, pointing, I'm like, you can still talk. You're you're allowed to talk. But people, for some reason, think they can't talk. It is amazing to watch. And it's really fun. I jumped in there with my family last year. My daughter was laughing at me hysterically, as she probably should when I'm dancing. But it's a great time. So we have lots going on there. One of our restaurant partners, the Monica, hosts a VIP party just across the street there, across Congress. So, again, free to the family. And it is family friendly. So get there early. We had to shut it down last year from bringing people in because it was just so packed. So
Love
we're
it.
closing Congress this year, or part of Congress, not all of it for the streetcar, but a part of Congress to make sure we can handle as many people as possible down in the downtown area.
I love it. And hopefully the weather will just be absolutely amazing as fall and winter is here.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of years ago, we had a light rain, and it was actually one of those like amazing movie like moments. The Plain White Tees were playing that year. And, it's everybody knows, Hey There, Delilah. And it was like the lightest sprinkle as they were playing it. It was very movie like. So there's
That's
like,
awesome.
Hey There, Delilah, and it's New Year's Eve, and people are dancing and singing, and it was a lot of fun. So,
That's so cool.
Tucson, I think I've learned is we're an all weather kind of folks. We're used to the heat and they'll show up, but we have lots of winter visitors who what we think is freezing is nothing to them. You came from Denver, so like our cold here in Tucson, you probably laugh at us, and that's okay.
Yeah, I do. It's okay. It's very soon. I won't be. I'll transition out of that and be.
Yeah, the blood thins out really quick here.
Totally. How this question just came to me, but how long have we been working on getting Snoop here? And what did that take to make happen? Just extraordinary.
Yeah. So in our world, we usually sign 3-year contracts with our sponsors and hope for 5, but it's usually 3. So with Snoop, we have a 3+2. So he's an option for 5, guaranteed 3. We were coming to the end of our 3-year contract with Barstool Sports, who was a good partner of ours, but we both had known and very amicably knew that they weren't going to return, which was fine. They were great during our time. So in 2023, early, we started quietly shopping, and Barstool gave us permission to do that because they were great partners that way because they didn't have to let us do that.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, go ahead, because they wanted us to be successful, which we were grateful for. So we quietly started shopping. We use an agency out of Denver, in fact, Impression Sports, and they helped us out. And they would start looking for us. So we had weekly meetings, and during one of the meetings, they said, would you be interested in a celebrity sponsor? We met with somebody last week who might have an interest. And we're like, well, yeah, who might that be? And so they mentioned Snoop Dogg to us. And of course, immediately we're like, yes, can I say yes faster?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Don't get our hopes up. Don't get our hopes up.
And, that's a really hard part of the title sponsor process. Is you have folks who are interested and you're like, oh, that could be super cool.
Yeah.
And you get a little interested and we create mock logos and that sort of thing. So it's an emotional roller coaster. But we were probably on the phone with Snoop's team in 48 hours. And it didn't take much longer than a week for Kim Adair. And there's a woman named Sarah Ramaker who runs their show, and she's an incredible woman. I don't know if that woman ever sleeps, because she's Snoop's essentially chief of staff, and what that guy does is insane. Yeah. So we quietly had Sarah and team out at the game last year, and so they were here to experience it all, see it in person. They walked around, they saw the tailgate, they saw the game experience, and they had a great time. And we were very fortunate that they liked it. And so we were ready to go very early this year. But as always, there's some red tape and obviously legal to walk through. So when we were able to announce on May 6th, it was just a crowning moment and a very proud moment for us here at the Arizona Bowl, having a fairly meteoric rise in 10 years of bowl game, which seems like a long time, 10 years, but that's kind of babies in the bowl world. When you're talking about bowl games that have been 80, 100 years around, our friends to the north of Fiesta Bowl, 50, 60 years. So to have that kind of rise and to bring on this title sponsor to our community here in Tucson, could not be more excited.
That's so great. I love that. Thank you for sharing that process. I think you see the marketing and the excitement in the day of, but we never really know what happens behind the scenes to pull something off like this. It's just so cool.
Took almost a year. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you for all your work on that.
Yeah.
Where can restaurants find Jen and Juice?
Hopefully in their own restaurant. But if not, certainly get in touch with us here at thearizonabowl.com. You can reach out to me, Eric Rhodes, and our distributors have been amazing. Okay. And so they get it to you really quick. They want it everywhere. But if you're just looking to give it a sample to see if you want it in your restaurant, you can find it at pretty much any grocery store around town. Some of your quick stops as well. So it's at any Safeway, Albertsons, Fry's, all those great places have it. And it's worth the try. And if not, stop by my office. I'll give you some.
There you go. I love it. Are tickets still available? And if so, how do people get a hold of them?
Great question. Kristen, you're just setting me up. I love it. You're making me look good. Tickets are available. That we're ahead of sales at where we've ever been, which awesome. We can only
Incredible.
attribute to Mr. DOGG himself. So again, we're grateful for that. But yeah, you can find him. It's a really easy process. We have an amazing national partner in SeatGeek who handles all of our ticketing platforms. But you can find us thearizonabowl.com, THE arizonabowl.com. And if you miss the tickets, we're not doing our job on our website, but just right there at the top, buy tickets. They're available now, great seats, but they're going fast, which is a great thing for us to have. And, as we sit here recording this on November the 1st, sorry if I give away the timing of it,
That's
but
okay.
as we said, I'm talking about November the 1st, it's coming quick. It's going to be a few days till Thanksgiving and a few days till we announce our teams on December the 8th. And then like a blink, our game day is going to be here. So this is one of the things you don't want to sit on. As you're sitting around and your family's driving you nuts on Thanksgiving, you're like, oh my gosh, we got to do this at Christmas. Great thing to do to get them out of the house. Go to the Arizona Bowl.
I love it.
We have some good times and some open space where you can socially distance from your family if you need to.
Go get lost at the concession stand.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll be back in 5 minutes to an hour.
I love it. I love it. Well, Eric, thank you so much for joining me, for letting restaurants know what's going to happen, how to prepare, for all the work that you've done behind the scenes to make this happen, and all the promotion that you're doing now. That it's like getting him here is one part of it, right? And then it's go execute.
We got to put on a show, right? We've got Snoop here. We want to make sure he sees everything that Tucson is all about. So as you're one of your many listeners, we'd love for you to be there and support us so we can just continue to bring bigger and better to our community.
I love it. Is there anything else we didn't touch on today we need to let the listeners know about?
If you're missing anything, I know you have a great social media presence yourself, but you can find us at Arizona Bowl Official on Instagram, at Arizona Bowl, at the Arizona Bowl on X. I still call it Twitter because I'm old. Of course, on Facebook. I have a great intern now to run my TikTok because nobody needs to see me doing those dances. So all the things you can find us, and you can keep up with everything we're doing and all the places you need to be.
Awesome. Eric, thanks again for being here. Cannot wait for December 28th. And for those of you listening, please share this episode with anyone you know in the restaurant industry who can benefit from this. And let's make 2025 just the most incredible bowl year, or 2024, excuse me. I don't even know what year we're in.
2025 too. Yeah, we'll take that.
We'll start with 2024, make it the best bowl year, and then we're just going to move on to 2025. So Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for having me.